From the entrance of universities to the corridors of polytechnics and colleges of education, millions of young Nigerians chase a common dream, the dream of education. However, for many, that dream now carries a price too heavy to afford. For most students in Nigeria's tertiary institutions, paying tuition has become one of the biggest hurdles in their academic journey.
Actually, I do pay late because we can't meet up to the time, and when it's time for us to pay, we have to pay extra 10,000 on it because of late payments. Due to the late registration of school fees, we won't be able to register our courses on time, and we will not be able to meet up with our tests and exams. And there are some certain times they will not allow us to write our exam due to late payment of school fees and the rest.
With rising cost of living, limited job opportunities, and parents battling economy hardship, education is fast becoming a luxury instead of a right. Nigeria's economy is under strain. Inflation has eroded households' earnings, and unemployment has pushed families to their limits. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, over 60% of tertiary students depend on parents and guardians for tuition, a burden many families can no longer bear. The cost of education has far exceeded the income growth of most households. Without financial aid systems, many students will either drop out or graduate with heavy debts. In response to these growing concerns, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed the Student Loan Act 2024 into law in April 2024, establishing the Nigerian Education Loan Fund to provide interest-free loans and upkeep support to students. A government-backed scheme designed to ease the financial burden on students and public tertiary institutions. Under this new policy, eligible students can apply for zero-interest loans to cover tuition, accommodation, and other study-related expenses. Repayment begins only after graduation and only when employment is secured. While the initiative has been welcomed, questions remain about how accessible, transparent, and efficient the process will be. In a recent interview, the managing director of NELFUND, Akintunde Sawyer, stated that over 800,000 students applied for the 2024-2025 academic session, with more than 500,000 approved as beneficiaries.
The 500,000 figure refers to the number of beneficiaries, so people who've actually received benefit from the fund, either as their institutional fees or the institutional fees plus the monthly upkeep that we pay. So the beneficiary number is over 500,000.
Currently, about 231 institutions, including universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education, have received support. Trust TV visited some public institutions to speak with students about how accessible and beneficiary these loans has been for them.
I had to trigger a system whereby I organized some lecturers where we are pulling money to pay the school fees of some students, indigent students. Now we have about 33 students that some of our lecturers were pulling money to pay their school fees. But the coming of the NELFUND, it has made things very, very, very easy for many students. Nasarawa State University is a rural university. Most of the students in Nasarawa State University are from very, very poor homes. And to maintain oneself in the university is not easy at all. It's not easy. And then they have been suffering, and then the comforts a student faces in the learning environment contributes to his output. You see very intelligent students, but they have very, very bad results because they had a very, very hard times sponsoring themselves. So by and large, the NELFUND is very, very welcome.
A 300-level student in the taxation department of Nasarawa State University Sadiq Ahmed, comes from a polygamous family of 14. His father, a civil servant, struggled to provide for everyone. Like many Nigerian students, Sadiq juggles schoolwork and survival. For him, every semester means another round of sleepless nights trying to raise what his family cannot afford.
During my undergrad level, I struggled with my father. First school before undergrad level, house rent and everything. Then during my 200 level, I decided to apply NELFUND because my father has other children to feed and I don't want more pressure on him. That is why I decided to apply NELFUND. It's true online I got the information of the loan. Then I decided to apply. I tell my father first that I want to apply Sokasa. So he said that okay, no problem. Since if I apply this loan before I pay, I will get job first before I pay for the loan. So I choose to apply. After I apply with 2 weeks or 3 weeks like this, I got notification in my email that my loan has been verified.
He also informed his close friends about the scheme and they applied as well. One of his friends, Abdusalam Usman, said the loan provided a great sense of relief.
Last year, they are scared of applying it, but this year, they apply it because they are thinking that it's loan and they will pay. And on my opinion, if federal government will give me loan, no matter how huge amount of money is that loan, I will collect it because I know it's federal government. Even if they catch me, they will know how to do with me. Because I know federal government will not come and just arrest me and embarrass me. I know maybe if they arrest me at the end of the day, they will still find something for me to do. Yeah. If they want me to pay the loan, if I don't have the money to pay, they will find a job for me. Yeah. I know something like this might happen. I know the loan, they just call it loan. But what I know is they want to help us.
With rising tuition and family incomes stretched thin, loans like NELFUND appears to be the only way out. While some students are interested, others are skeptical about the consequences should they fail to repay.
When I heard about it, they didn't say it's a free money. They said you are going to pay back. Maybe after school, after your NYSC. Hey, no. I rather work for my money than try my best to pay my school fees. But I think that would be better for me. I'm not praying for myself not to be great in the future though. But I feel like, okay, what if something happened and you were not able to pay that particular loan back?
However, while some students have received their full loan packages, others are still waiting. Some applicants report that only their upkeep allowance has been paid, while their tuition fees remain pending.
Okay, the first pay, I never expected it. My mind was off. I never expected NELFUND paying me that day. So I was just at home busy with some furniture works. So next thing I saw the alerts, NELFUND, I was like surprised. So this pool really came through. So finally, it was 20,000 naira for the monthly upkeep. So it was it. So when it dropped, the feeling, the excitement, it was there. But remembering that fact that it did not come with time we needed it, we had to still pay our own school fees because some people struggled. I was among the people that struggled to pay our school fees. Like with the I thought NELFUND would at least pay some fees, and so they didn't pay for me. They only gave me the 20,000 naira for the upkeep, so they did not pay for me. I paid my school fees myself, so they did not pay my school fees.
On campus, this partial disbursement has created anxiety. For a 200-level student, Jabin Atiapsin, he does not see the possibility of applying for the loan anytime soon.
I heard about NELFUND through a friend. Yeah, he told me that he was trying to convince me to apply. He said they allow students to collect loan. Then after their studies, they'll pay back. They'll pay their school fees during their university's time and some allowances, something like that. So he was trying. Then I was like, for me to apply, it has to work for you. It has to work for him before I apply, because these days it's not, you don't put your money or you don't collect money for something you're not sure of. You don't invest and do other things. You don't just give money out these days. So I was like, for it to, I must see it, I must see evidence and all of that. So, and later on, I think that was second semester. Yeah, he told me that he applied for this. So this was what him to, I've heard other people have started receiving alerts that are giving them, some students have started cashing out and all of that. So, well, I wanted to, but I was like, no, I have to see it in him first. So I was asking for like, what's the time duration that you start cashing out? I think, is it 1 month he said or something like that. So I didn't hear any response from him, no cashing out. I was there when we entered 200 level. I think he now came to school, like, he cashed out too. They gave him 20,000 naira. I was like, okay, 20,000, did they pay your school fees? I was like, no, they didn't pay school fees. It was only the allowance they gave him to an upkeep. So I think from that day, there was no any cash out again, so I was not even triggered to put it in.
Here, at the University of Abuja, awareness of NELFUND remains very low among students. Some of the students spoken to can hardly tell what NELFUND is, nor can they explain how difficult it has been paying tuition fees.
This is my first time hearing about it. It's not me that is paying my school fees, actually. It's my elder sister. I grew up with my elder sister, so I lived with her, so she's the one taking care of the bill. There's no actually trouble, but until my 300 level, there was a little. That's because she got paid in her office late, so I was not able to meet up with that. But later on, I still paid, but it was a bit challenge to do that.
However, the management of the institution admitted that some students are beneficiaries of the loan program in the school. In response to these concerns raised by the student, the Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Yahya Mohammed, attributed the payment glitches to error in applicant bank details.
You see, anytime you introduce a new thing, you don't expect it to go 100%. These students, we are here for them. If a student is facing that, it's very free. In my office here, I don't see anything less than 40 students every day. But my office is open. When they come with their problems with NELFUND, I try to assist them. If I can't do it, then I'll send them to the NELFUND desk officer. There's a NELFUND desk officer there in the registrar's office. So that issue that you are saying is in isolated cases. For a student to say that he has been getting his upkeep, but they have not paid his school fees, is not true. The only thing is that the school fees can be paid, but he has not been getting the upkeep. Maybe because of problems he has with his accounts. And this student's life is a close-knit life. The moment that one gets, everybody will know. The moment that one gets, everybody will know. So the moment that me and you will apply, and you start getting and I don't get, they come here. And when they come here, we try to put them through. We try to make them know what the problem is. So that issue, I don't think it's a problem, because any human endeavor, you find mistakes. Right. Much as the government is trying to do this thing for the students, I know the students go and put money point, they pay. There was a time one of the girls that is supposed to be a beneficiary of this NELFUND, I called her I said, okay, come quickly, so that she said, please, sir, I don't have the time, I'm going somewhere. You get what I'm saying? And the same person will go and be talking about other things. If NELFUND can, out of his wisdom, contact us, please tell your student to make his account details good. It's a big, very big step forward in this country. Because that money is not going to that person's pocket. It's not going to my pocket. It's going to the student's pocket. But still, call the students. He will tell you that he doesn't have the time to come now. He will come in the next 2 weeks. That's what we're facing here.
For many Nigerians, NELFUND is not the first time a student loan policy has been introduced. In 1972 and again in 1993, similar schemes were launched, but both collapsed due to poor repayment, corruption, and weak economy management. Nigeria is already grappling with a rising public debt that exceeds 152 trillion naira, a weakened naira, and slow economic growth. With unemployment among young graduates reaching alarming levels, experts ask how will students repay these loans?
Beyond giving the loan to students, there are some other ancillary services that need to be offered to such students, in the sense that the students will need to get a place to do their IT while they are still running their school, okay? Such students should be given preference by government, deployed to government establishments to do their IT. Such students also, during the time of their youth service, should also be given opportunity to also go to places where they can be absorbed, so that they don't stay too long before they start paying back the loan. So I think that since the step has been taken to make sure that, first of all, the training is achieved, the second step that should be taken now is to make sure that those ancillary services that will make the students be able to pay back the loan should also be looked into, in terms of making sure that they successfully complete their education program and they also successfully secure job, so that they will be paying back, such that the fund will be revolving in nature, not that it will come to a point it will be stopped. And again, the act that establishes to make it such a way that a government will not come and say we are going to scrap it.
Without a visible economy that can support students in repaying the loans after graduation, Professor Abdullahi fears NELFUND might follow the same path as other government programs that were long on promises but short on delivery.
Look, let's call a spade a spade. We live in a country where, unfortunately, and most unfortunately, people who receive grants and loans, particularly from the government, see it as their own share of dividend of democracy. Where the chicken will come home to roost is when government attempts to recover such loans after the beneficiaries could have completed their programs. Besides, we live in an economy that does not create jobs. So, the $1 million question here would be, after the students have completed their studies, on the basis of the loan that they took under the scheme, where will they find jobs that will enable them to begin the process of paying back the loan? Because the intendment here is that it should be a kind of a revolving fund. People that benefited will pay back, and then a fresh batch of beneficiaries will emerge subsequently by applying, and then they will also have their chance of taking those loans and funding their education. So the intendment is to make it a revolving fund. How that will work out beats my imagination.
A document from the presidency revealed that since its inception, NELFUND has disbursed over 116 billion naira in student loans, covering both institutional fees and upkeep allowances to students across universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education nationwide. The NELFUND policy aimed to ensure that no Nigerian student is denied education because of poverty, a bold initiative modeled after similar student loan systems worldwide. For many students, the struggle to pay tuition and upkeep has long been a heavy burden. But with the launch of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, the government has promised a future where education is not limited by financial barriers. However, after several requests over the past month, Trust TV have not been able to secure an interview with NELFUND officials to clarify student concerns. NELFUND represents a vision of equal opportunity, but without a stable economy, clear repayment plans, and honest management, the dream could turn into another national debt burden.